Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome back to the program. Let's talk about some legal matters now. The Federal High Court today dismissed the suit challenging the legality of the 3-month tenure extension President Muhammadu Buhari granted to the immediate past Inspector General of Police, Mr. Muhammad Adamu, delivering judgment in the suit filed by a constitutional lawyer, Mr. Maxwell Opara. The trial judge, Justice Ahmed Mohammed, held that the president, who is vested with the constitutional powers to appoint an IGP in consultation with the Police Service Commission, also has the power to extend the tenure pending when a substantial appointment is made to fill the vacuum. Let me get the view of a senior lawyer to give us a sense of what this means. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Ahmed Raji, is in Abuja studio. It's good to see you again, Mr. Raji, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's begin the conversation. Give us a sense of what this means. Essentially, because what the Constitution prescribes is that the appointment of an IGP can only be done with a consultation with the police council, which has the governors and some other people in that mix. But with the judgment today, what is the implication?
Thank you, Sean. I have not read the judgment, but the little I could gather is to the effect that what His Lordship, one of the best judicial minds, A.R. Muhammad, is saying is that law, just like nature, abhors vacuum, and that where it is impossible for the president to appoint the Inspector General of Police, a substantive one, he can, in the interim, allow the occupant or the occupier of the office to continue, maybe for some period, so that there will be no vacuum. That is all he's saying. And the power to appoint the IGP is solely with the president, because Section 215 of the Constitution only says he listens to the advice. He's not bound by the advice of the police council. So the entire appointment of the IGP resides mainly with the president of the country. And when you look at the powers of the police council, it only emphasizes advice. And then in respect of Police Service Commission, the appointment of IG is excluded from their schedule. So this, briefly, all it means is that where, for any reason, the replacement is not been appointed, or maybe the council has not met for one reason or the other, and the tenure of the present IG is expiring or has expired, the president, to avoid vacuum, can extend his tenure. That is all it means.
So, but, I mean, what about that portion which says, after consultation with the police council, that there should be a transmission of such nomination to the National Assembly? And so a lot of lawyers have argued that before the confirmation or announcement of an IGP, it has to be transmitted from the president with the consultation of the police council to the National Assembly for confirmation first before it's announced. But some people will argue that in the case of the new IG, that was not the case. It was already announced before his name was transmitted. What do you make of that argument?
Well, it's a matter of approach. All it means is that, well, when you appoint, it is incoherent until the Senate approves it. That's all. It's left there, then the National Assembly will now approve. But
what happens?
With
Sorry,
respect to
apologies.
Extension of a tenure.
Okay. I wanted to ask, sorry, that what then happens if the Senate now fails to confirm? What happens?
No, with respect to extending the tenure, it's not making an appointment afresh. It's merely saying, please hold on until we get the substantive man to come and take over. It's like you want to go for election and the country is in crisis and the time for election has come and the country is unable to hold election. The governor or the president continues. So, I mean, it's like I said, there should be no vacuum. What this lordship has done is that he has looked at the Constitution, he has looked at the Police Act. There is nothing like acting appointment or what have you. But all he's saying is that what the Constitution does not forbid expressly is allowed. There is nowhere in the law where the Constitution has said that the president cannot ask somebody to be in an acting capacity or to hold on pending when a proper replacement will come in. I believe that is what the whole essence of what, to avoid vacuum.
Okay, so quickly, I'd like you
because
to...
Because if you ask the IG to go...
Yeah?
Pardon?
So I wanted to
If you ask the IG to go... Yes?
Please, land on that thought, please. Land on that thought.
Yeah. If you ask the IG to go, and there is no replacement in place, do you want a vacuum?
Okay, so
I think this is where it's coming from.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask Mr. Raji, the court or the law does not prescribe how long the tenure can be extended. That's on one hand. On the other hand, is that there is a certain age and year of service where such a person can stay in office. 60 years and 35 years of service, I presume. So in that sense, it does mean that automatically when you assume that age or that year of service, you are no more in service. So that rank is expired. What about the argument, Mr. Raji?
That is a very interesting argument. I quite agree with you. The office of IG is not like that of a civil servant who is rising by the rank and what have you. He is there on appointment. I agree. The moment he is no longer, because the law says, the Constitution says, the president must have to appoint from among the members of the police force. He cannot pick somebody who is not a member of the police force to make an IG. I agree. But upon appointment, until he is properly disengaged, he remains there to function. That would be my own opinion.
So, because I'd like you to touch on another very crucial point. Yeah, because that particular one, in fact, a lawyer told me on the program that, look, at the moment when the IG reaches the age of 60, is out of service and that rank expires. Well, let's quickly get your view on this other matter, Mr. Raji. And the governors of the All Progressives Congress, they have endorsed agreements reached by the Governor Tambuwa-led NGF committee and enjoined all APC governors to start implementing the autonomy for judiciary and state legislature. Mr. Raji, what does this say about the issue of true federalism and the separation of powers? There's been an argument and back and forth. Jusun was on strike for a long time. The courts were closed. Where do you see this going from? When are the governors, or why is it difficult for the implementation?
Well, I believe it's all the Nigerian problem, where those who are in control of the executive arms of government, they try to over-appropriate powers to themselves and stifling progress and growth in other arms. And when we talk of true rule of law, independence of judiciary is very key. And what is independence? What does it entail? Is it just appointment or having their own car or what have you? It also entails being financially autonomous. So having financial autonomy for the judiciary will go a long way to enhance the status and the ability of the judiciary to stand up and do the right thing in most cases and not just kowtowing to the executive, as we have been witnessing in some or few cases rather.
Mr. Ahmed Raji, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, it's always a pleasure when you give this insight on the professional thoughts on some of these very knotty legal issues. Thank you so much indeed for your time, and it's good to see you again.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Well, that's how we end the show tonight on this Friday. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Akimbale. Bye for now.